Hi everybody, it's Amy at Crafty Cat, and I am here to work on my vintage Victorian journal for Fern. And so I wanted to do one of those lace pockets like I saw Rachel had in those vintage journals that she had found at an antique fair thing. And so I did them in my Valentine's journal, but I wanted to do one in Fern's journal as well because it seems very Victorian to me to have that, you know, the lace and all that. So the way I do those, I have no idea if this is how the originals were because all I could see was, you know, Rachel's through YouTube. So, I mean, I have no idea. I could be totally not doing it right or whatever, but this is just the way I do it. You need to have pretty wide lace. This lace is, because I tried it with a more narrow lace, and it really doesn't work great. So 2.5 is what this lace measures wide. And I will, when I stitch it onto this pink paper, so you're going to stitch across, just across the top and down the side, and then across this bottom part and up this side is how it will be stitched onto the paper. So I leave a little extra up there just because, you know, that's I just like to do that, just in case for any reason it gets pulled or whatever. And then I'm going to kind of have it hanging off the page just a tiny bit, so it's kind of like going to ruffle outside of the page. And then the way I did it in the Valentine's journal is, I think I'm going to clip it up here just so it stays up there, so we don't have it messing around. I'm going to actually come off the page just a tiny bit. So I hope you can see, yeah, you can see that it's just hanging off that much. Okay, and then I come down to where the corner is, and this is a little bit tricky because you can't like do this kind of a fold, because one, you'll have your corner hanging out, and two, your ruffle will be up at the top and you want it down at the bottom. So the way I did it, and like I said, I have no idea how those other ones were done, is I just pinched a section like that and bring it over like this, you know, fold it so it's almost like a triangle inside of the lace there, like that, and then you get that pocket on the bottom. So this needs to be stitched either by hand or on a sewing machine. I'm going to use a sewing machine, but if you don't have a sewing machine, you could probably definitely do this by hand, and it wouldn't be like a super hard thing to do. I'm going to scoot it over just a little bit more because I want it off the page, but I don't want it too much off the page. So let's see. I just want it even, which is a little bit tricky. And you know, once you sew this corner, you can glue it down a little bit to tack it down to help hold it into place once you get this corner done the way you want it. So I'm just trying to, you know, get it the way I want it to look. So I'm just trying to straighten out this edge along here and get that ruffle out there where I want it. So I'm going to just take a pin and pin it right here. Maybe if my pin, I don't know where all my pins went. I think my daughter has them somewhere, and I just didn't feel like going through all her sewing stuff, so I just am using, I think this is probably a what do you call it for flowers? You know what I'm talking about. Can't think. Bouquet type thing. Not a bouquet, but a, oh brother, whatever, anyway. Okay, so that's going to give me my corner, and I'm going to come in a little closer so hopefully you guys can see the corner better. So see, I've just pinched and brought that edge over here, and it kind of makes like a triangle inside of there to make your corner. So I'm going to go stitch my corner. I'm not going to stitch it onto the page yet because we're going to make something else that I'll be stitching. So we'll do all that then. Actually, you know what? I think I'll just do my other thing and I'll do all the stitching at once just so I don't have to keep turning the camera on and off. So anyway, I'm going to set this aside, but that's how you make that corner. And then when you stitch it, you stitch here, 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 and there. And that makes a pocket. So that's that part. And then I have taken, this is book page, obviously, and this was, you know, a whole signature because I took a whole book apart, and so I was able to get, like, you know, the whole piece there instead of just one page at a time. So I want to collage on this with fabric like we did yesterday, so this really isn't going to be anything new. So if you want to fast forward to the end or whatever, I totally get that. But if you do want to just hang out, that's awesome. I hope you guys are having an awesome day. Sorry, I stink at that. I just get excited and, you know, want to get to the project. So yeah, I hope you guys are having a great day. It's been kind of a crazy week. I thought I would have more time, you know, to do stuff, but I feel like, well, I've kind of had extra stuff. Like today I had an inspector came to check out my workspace for a business permit, you know, and stuff like that. So yeah, I've just had extra stuff that I've needed to do this week that I normally wouldn't have. My son was sick yesterday. So, I mean, I did my video and stuff, that was no big deal, but we actually, because he was home, I mean, he was all wimpy and puny and just not feeling good, but we did work on a new digi for a little while, just like a little bit. So hopefully we can get that done at some point. That is, I know you told me, Nan, how to do it, but I have to tear the other way. But I know it'll tear this way, but tearing the other way, I don't know. It's all about the direction that the fibers are going, and I get that aspect of it. I just can't ever figure out how to tear it right. Need my glue book. Yeah, so anyway, it's been a little crazy this week, but that's okay. I'm sure it will relax a little bit, I hope. I just need to get in some kind of schedule, which I know will come. It's just one of those things that's a little nutty. I'm trying to figure out what I want to use, sorry. Sometimes my brain doesn't cooperate. So yeah, I hope you guys are doing good. I'm not ever super talkative, but it seems to be worse when I do a video every day because I just don't have, you know, all that much going on, especially with being home a lot. But yeah, it's fun for sure. I just still can't really believe it. I keep thinking, oh, I'm gonna have to go get a job. I'm gonna have to go get a job because this isn't gonna work. I'm gonna have to get a job. I just keep doing that to myself, and I know that's silly, but I just think, I don't know, it's just kind of the way it is. I think I'm not gonna worry about this being see-through because it's just book page, and this was a book about a Japanese inn kind of thing. I don't think it's got any bad words, but I'm looking right here and I don't see any here, so that's the big thing. I was gonna have it go the other direction, but the stitching's on this side of the fabric, so we're just gonna go with that. Let's see, some of the blue. So yeah, this is essentially what I did yesterday too, but I want to do some of these types of things in this journal, so you know, I'm sorry it's the same thing again, but it just gives you another idea, you know, to use book page, and I'm making like a little journaling book thing, so that's what this is for. But hopefully if you're crafting too and doing your own thing, then This isn't too bad. It's still kind of very relaxing, I find. I mean, I don't know, maybe not for everybody, but I just find it relaxing to watch people collage fabric or paper. This is really fun. I forgot because I hadn't done it in so long. I did it a lot this summer. Like, I have quite a few videos from this summer that I did this because that's when I started doing it, and I just enjoyed it so much. It's just fun. Just something different. And I will be adding different stuff to it. So like I said, if you want to fast forward, I get it. Some of you are so kind and have said that you enjoy watching the whole thing, even when it's just this kind of stuff. Actually, I think I'll put this up here because I'm thinking I'm going to put other stuff on here, and I'm thinking that might be a spot that will have something over it, and I hate to cover up that particular piece of lace. It's just very pretty. And then I think I'm going to use some of this lace. It's just, and I have it sitting up there to kind of help. There's like a glare. Oh my gosh, I forgot to back you guys out. I apologize. Probably like nosebleed section, right? Or I guess that would be the opposite, but you get it. It's kind of fun to see the book page through there, I think. That's good. Let's do some pink with some dots. Yeah, I did a few like journals with the whole cover like this summer. I think I might lift this just a little bit and put this a little bit under the lace there. I have to figure out, okay, this is the side with the dots. Like I was saying, this fabric, the dots are white and it's such a light pink you almost can't even see the dots on it, but it's really pretty. And I need a strip sort of piece, I think, to go along here. That'll probably work. I can lift this a tiny bit. That's one thing. If you just use a little glue, you can kind of finagle the pieces around the way you want them. So that, you can have pieces like that. Because again, I'm just tacking it down because I will be stitching it. Sticking to the table. We don't want that. Okay, something down here. This piece would be kind of good right here. And if it's got, like, I've cut it with pinking shears. I think of rickrack when I see those edges. Then I'm just going to leave it. I'm not going to worry about tearing it because I like that too. I like that look too. This needs to be a little bit frayed. I hope you guys had a good week. I have been hearing about some of your projects and they sound amazing. Like, a lot of you are, making either Valentine's journals or whatever using my digis, and I love hearing that. I love when people contact me and let me know that they're using the digis and what they're doing with them. I just think it's so fun to hear, that people are liking them and using them and that kind of thing. Got this. So yeah, I think I've got some actual pieces of this that are already little, so I don't tear more and have more little pieces. There we go. because we don't need more. Need to get rid of some. I forgot I had a few that already torn the other day when I did the other piece, or yesterday, I guess it was. I was so happy to hear this is what Fern was wanting, because it's always hard, like, you talk to people and get kind of an idea of what they want, but you just never know if you're gonna really be on the same page. So it's always nice to hear that she is liking it. And this is old hanky that tears so awesomely. I love, like, I could just stand and tear that all day. I think it's a sickness, but yeah. I don't know what it is, it's just very gratifying, or whatever you would want to call that. One of those weird things, I guess. Let's see. Another piece of this blue. I loved the lace that was on that hanky too. That was a cool hanky. I've looked for more of them, but I haven't found. I mean, I find hankies, but that particular one was just a really nice, thin, lightweight hanky, and it tore easily, and it had great lace on it. And it was kind of thin, like some things you find, especially doilies and that, you know, they're pretty thick, and so I don't always like to do a whole lot with them because they just add so much bulk. But that particular one was really nice. Take a piece of this. I think I'm going to pinking shear it since the other sides are all pinking sheared. I don't know if you guys went on Instagram yesterday, or if you even follow me on Instagram, but if you do, it's a good place to see my cat if you want to see my cat, because like right now he's probably sleeping somewhere because I don't know where he is. But yesterday he got right up on my table here and fell asleep right here, and it was just adorable, so I took a picture and I posted it on Instagram. He gets this adorable angelic little face when he's sleeping, even though he really sometimes is not an angel. I always tell the kids, look, he's got his angel face on. Because he can be such a turkey. Ugh. I mean, he is adorable, there's no doubt about that, and it's probably good that he is, because man almighty, the stuff that he does, sometimes I just, he wears me out. Especially the plastic licking and the getting on the counter. And you know, plastic licking isn't a huge thing, but like up here in my stuff, like I don't care if he goes and licks his food bag. That's fine. He can do that all day long and I wouldn't care. But when he gets on the counter to get, like, you know, the bread package, or I don't know, whatever, because I have like this basket that sits up there with the fruits in and stuff like that. And when he gets up there and licks that, one, it's just gross. It's like, don't do that. And then when he gets up on my table here, you know, I don't want him licking things that I'm gonna send to customers and stuff like that. So that's another ew, gross, stop thing. I did clean out a closet up here though that I think I will end up putting any acetate that I have for this in. I mean, it's up high in a basket, but of course he still finds it and gets into it because that's what he does. It's his favorite. Nan's comment yesterday was funny on Instagram, that he's probably exhausted from licking all the acetate, and that's about the truth. such a stinkweed. I've never had a cat that does that, so it's just kind of weird, but I've had other people tell me that they have either have or have had a cat that does that, so I thought it was kind of crazy because I've never had one that does that. But he's a little nut brain, no doubt about that. Very entertaining, that's for sure. I'm still sad about the fish though that I got him and he doesn't, and he's scared of. It's like, why are you scared of that fish? Crazy cat. I mean, he's caught like doves and he even caught a quail in our backyard area. And they're bigger than that fish is, and they move and stuff too, so I'm not really sure what it is about the fish. I don't know, maybe it's the noise, it kind of makes that, you know, that kind of a noise. And so I don't know, maybe he just doesn't like that. I don't know. But it seems crazy to me because he's always trying to catch birds. I mean, luckily he's kind of not the fastest cat in the world, and you know, huge fluffy white thing chasing after the birds, they usually can spot him real easy, but he has a couple times gotten like I said, a dove and one quail. And I think that quail, because I had seen that quail in the yard a couple times, I mean, I'm assuming it's the same one, with his mate, and I'm thinking he was probably trying to protect her, as how he ended up getting got, because they are pretty protective, so. But anyhow, he's a crazy little cat. Crazy. Always into everything. Let's see if I can get this to rip now. Oh, it did. And this piece I am going to put on here, even though it's, you know, kind of random. Alright, so then on the inside I think I will use paper because I want Fern to be able to write on the inside part. So, oh, you know what though? I'm going to stitch first. So let's figure out the rest of the front first. I should probably stitch the whole thing. Yeah, sorry, there's, you know, stages and you got to think of all the what comes next part. So I'm going to stitch this and I'm going to stitch our lace that we did, and then I'll be right back. Okay, hi, I'm back. So I've got a little picture I want to use, but I stitched around this and you can see all the craziness in there. And then I got this all stitched on. So you can see I came out a little, oopsie, a little further here. It just helps hold that pocket down a little bit better when you're putting stuff in and out, because you don't want it to tear along there. And I did back stitch, so there it's on nice and tight, but you can see it's kind of like this, it opens. Okay. Alright, so let's finish this guy here. I'm going to take a piece of this same lace that I used for the corner pocket. I'm going to use this lady. And I need some scissors. And this I'm going to glue down. I may end up stitching around her when I get done gluing it, but I just kind of want to glue it for now. And I will be doing a little pinching of that there. And then what else do I want with that? Maybe some of this hanky lace. I could probably cut off this bit of hanky just because it's going to add bulk behind there that we don't really want. Put this one up there. And then I have this avocado dyed lace. I kind of want it on the outside. And then maybe one of these roses I don't know which one I want. Probably just one of the white ones since we've got a lot of colors and things already going on. And maybe a little bit of this as well. This is just some like cording that I got from Denise at one of our crafts. She sent that in her little care packages that she sends every month. She's very naughty. She doesn't need to send me things, and she does. But she won't listen, so anyways. And then maybe, I don't know if I need any more on there. Okay, let me get this inked a little bit. It needs to be roughed up a little bit too. Just a little. I don't like that super straight edge there. And these are just images that I've had kind of in my stash that I know you can get stuff like this off of. Well, like Mrs. Coggs has some, Artie Mays has some. You can find them oftentimes on Pinterest and stuff like that. Alright, so let's get the art glitter glue, I think, is what we'll use for this back here. I want to, like I said, do some gathering, just a little bit, not a ton, because obviously then we'll get lots of, you know, lifting and stuff. Yeah, art glitter glue is not going to work. It works on fabric, but you need something a little stronger, I think, right off the bat. I mean, it'll eventually stick for sure, but... Best thing would probably be hot glue, just to get it to hold, but the problem with hot glue is a lot of times it just pops off later. I'll probably end up stitching this, so basically I just need it to get down and stay down for now. Just until I can get it stitched. I'm just going to put a little bit of this up here. It's the one thing that is easier with paper for sure. Because it just doesn't want to do it. And if you don't like to sew, you don't have to sew any of it. Like, you don't have to do that. You can do it with glue. It's just, if you're doing this fabric thing, just make sure you're using like a Fabri-Tac or something like that, and you get the edges really well. That's the biggest problem. I'm going to put a little bit of this kind of glue too, in the middle at least, to kind of hold that lace. Oopsie. I've got glue on there like I do. And the stitching will help hold everything down. I'm just going to kind of go around the picture like that. These are just those little roses you can get from like Hobby Lobby or wherever. They're pretty easy to find. One of the few things that's easy to find. I'm trying to think if I kind of want something over there, maybe some of this. This on the outside, maybe. Could do like a ruffle, you know, like that. Okay, I'm gonna go stitch this and I'll be right back because I do want to do like the ruffles, so I'll be right back. Okay, hi, I'm back. So I stitched all the way around the picture. I kind of ruffled that lace right there, and then we're going to add these other pieces. And I know they're not going to be stitched on, but it doesn't really, I don't care. I mean, it doesn't really matter to me if they're stitched or not stitched. So for this part, because it's going to have this cording kind of stuff, and then that, and you know, it doesn't need to necessarily be stitched there. So I'm going to add some tacky glue here. I left my glue open that whole time. So I'm just going to add a bead along there. I'm trying to figure out which way I want this. I think I'll go this way. And this cording, the biggest thing is to make sure you get, you know, the ends, because it will just unravel. Maybe I'll come this way, have the flower over here. I don't know why I always tend to do that, but this one has more, or one of these has more of the tulle. I want the tulle on there. Okay, so now what we have is a big mess on the other side of this card, which I want her to be able to write on. So I think what I'm going to do is add a piece of cardstock, and it doesn't have to be major cardstock, but something that's thick enough that, you know, all this stitching isn't going to cause for like lumpy writing, that kind of thing. So let me see, I was going to grab a piece and I forgot, so... I don't know if I have any in this. I kind of wanted an off-white. I think this is just all like printer paper. Have the really thick white. Ah, here's one. Okay, so this is an off-white. So I'm just gonna kind of tear this and put it on there, and then I'll add maybe a few bits to it, but that'll probably be mainly what that one is. I gotta get some of this fabric out of the way. Probably should have put it away, but I didn't, so. Okay. So I kind of need to figure out how big this is, right? Trying to stay on screen, but as you guys know, that can be tricky sometimes when you get going. You're just working. Okay, and I'm going to go ahead and tear this other side as well, just a little bit. Okay, that'll work well, because that'll just, I just want that, you know, stitching covered so it's not so, I mean, it might still be a little lumpy, it's not perfect, but I love that look on the front, so, and at least you can write here, and I'll put writing space on the back too, so you'll definitely have those two spots for writing. Maybe we could add a pocket on here or something to make this side a little bit more useful. That way you won't have to worry about the writing part. But I'm still going to use this just to get that stitching covered. I don't want it. And I know this will add a little bit of bulk, but I'm fine with that. It's not. The pocket that it's going into is going to be that lace pocket, so it'll be fine in there if it's a tiny bit thicker. This also needs to be inked on the inside. I'm going to put quite a bit of glue on here because I just want to make sure it sticks down on those threads. Right, that seems to be pretty good. I mean, you're going to have some bump anyway from all the lace and stuff, so I guess there's that as well. But we're going to make it prettier, so let's do that. This is Medieval Mirage, and it is Illuminated Flora. I'm trying to decide. Sorry. Kind of thinking just want to do part of it for this just to kind of decorate this up a little bit, since it's that plain color. I think I want to do a pocket, but you definitely could, I mean, you could do pockets on both sides if you wanted to. Alright, so then there's still journaling space there, and another thing that we could do, there's my corrugated cardboard that I use to make stamp like lines with. I think I'll use this. And I should have done this first, but it's okay. So you just stamp on corrugated cardboard with your ink pad. Get this out of the way. And it just is going to give you some lines, but they're not like perfect lines, you know, so you don't look like you drew it with a pencil or something, but it gives you some lines to write on. If you haven't seen that, I'm sure pretty much, if you've been doing this for a while, you have, but like I said, I have lots of new people, so I want to make sure that they, you know, get how to do stuff and whatever. And then I need something to put with that. can be written on, so I'm just going through a pile of papers here. This is also Medieval Mirage. This is Medieval Missives, Volume 6. And it has this kind of design. I want more of the blank, obviously, for writing, so. I'll save those bits because I can use them for other things. I'm just tearing off this part of this. I want those flowers. Could put them, they definitely need to be on that side, I think. I just feel like it's too much the same. If I turn this like this. This is a cool thing about digitals because, you know, you're probably going, why are you tearing up that page? But, you know, I could just go print it again. And, I mean, this is just part of what I do, I guess. But these are gorgeous. I just was not liking it was getting too symmetrical. I don't like that. So. So I've done these kind of book flip things before, but I've never done one with the fabric on the front and stuff, so I just thought it'd be fun. A fun thing to do with you guys. Those flowers are from Medieval Mirage, Feminine Finesse. So if you, and it's not the add-on, it's just the regular part of that, the journaling pages. Okay. I could add a few lines on that as well before I put that other piece down. We're still going to cover this a bit though. And as you can see, this is some big corrugated cardboard, so it just seems to work best for, you know, making the lines kind of thing. And I'm lifting it on this other side because I obviously don't want to, you know, have lines going all the way across like over there. Oopsie, I didn't really get it at all, did I? I guess I have to put some down. I'm not going to match it up is the problem. Let me see. This is probably gonna get messed up, but let's try. I just don't want, I mean, that wasn't anything, so. And it still didn't do it a whole lot, but at least there's some lines. It gives you an idea. I don't know why that didn't want to do that that time. Weird. Oh, I need to put the flowers on there. Okay, and then the back, let's see, what do we want to use? I usually just cover it, you know, cover the back. Okay. Goes this way. I'll do more of the rose portion because that could still be written on. Oops. Can't ever pick those up off of that mat. It's like, nope, not happening. Ay, ay, ay. Man, that glue gun today, or that glue stick glue gun. I need to ink this back here too. Cover some of this up. I'll find something to put down there. I don't really want to put like fabric back there because it's already going to be interesting getting it in and out of the pocket, but this could work. This is some of my lace from my Antique Posy Digi. I like the middle part, of course. couldn't like one of the ends, right? Is you use the other end. I mean, I can still use those bits, but just that's so me. There's fuzz on my glue. Shocking. Alright. Kind of like just having, you know, strips like that. I do that a lot at the bottom of tags and things. And you could still write on this. It's not like so dark that it couldn't be written on. Kind of want to put a little something along there too. In a pink or something like that. And this is Medieval Mirage. I know I keep saying that, but I really use a lot of her paper. I love her paper. And I am on her design team, but that's not, I mean, it wouldn't matter. I used it a lot before I was ever on her design team. I just think she's got an incredible eye for it. I don't know, she just does such a beautiful job. I wanted that over there more, but now it's upside down. Why is it always the wrong side? I know I tore it that way, it's my fault. But I just wanted that. I mean, the writing's not horrible. I shouldn't have torn that way, huh? Hate it when I do that. Maybe let's try this piece. Now it's going this way, but it's fine. I'm gonna just kind of, I liked the, I don't want a rectangle, a perfect rectangle. There it is. Oops, that's the wrong one. I forgot I've got both of them with the not black thing on them. Do you understand now how I end up in the biggest mess ever? I get going and it's just like a whirling dervish going through here. Missed that. All right. So that is done. Amazing how long all this takes, right? So this will tuck in this pocket, which will be easier once it is sewn into a page, I think. Maybe I made it too big. I tried to get it as close to the size of the page, but maybe that's a bad idea. This may go in a different pocket. It's just kind of tricky with the sides there. There we go. So once it's sewn in, you know, it won't be so, it'll be easier to pull it in and out of there. But anyway, that's what I had in mind. So let me know what you guys think. All right, I will talk to you again soon. I hope you guys have an awesome rest of your day, and yeah, we'll chat again soon. Bye-bye now.